Well, let's move on to another case in the courtroom where Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan
Interesting story
has been granted bail, another bail, by a federal high court in Abuja. Now, the court rejected the federal government attempt to have her remanded over criminal defamation charges. Her bail is set at 50 million naira,
A lot of
and
money.
she's required to present one surety with property in Abuja. The charges stem from explosive comments she made which accused Senate President Godswill Akpabio and the former Kogi Governor Yahaya Bello of plotting to kill her, a claim that the federal government says amounts to criminal defamation and incitement. Our court appearance drew a crowd of heavyweights like Oby Ezekwesili, Aisha Yesufu, and a host of supporters who were present. Now, with a trial now set for September 23rd, many Nigerians are watching to see how far this case will go and what it might say about freedom of speech, especially for women in politics. Let's see some of the reactions on social media. Let's see. Apparently, this is a case which has been which attracted so many women from around the world. I mean, I saw our followers grow from about 2,000 initially. I think 1,000. That's when this entire thing, like no one knew her. But now, the last time I checked, not today, the last time I checked, she was about at 230 something thousand. So she's gained a couple of people who solidarity, solidarity supporters. Anyway, let's see some of the reactions on social media. Really. Honestly says, Nigerian women should rise up now.
It's not Donald Trump, by the way. Because you see the DPT is not.
Right, I know, right? That OJ Nasonic, also known as Honestly, says Nigerian women should raise up now. Anyways, rise up, support and protest. More reactions to that story. Ikade says, I may not be a fan, but I'm happy with the court decision. That is justice. Nigeria must be free from irresponsible judges. The more reactions. Annoyance says 50 million bail is very harsh because the offense alleged against her is a mere misdemeanor and or simple offense, and it's not a violent crime. I believe this person is in the legal space. It's not a violent crime to warrant such harsh bail conditions. I mean, 500, was it 500 or 50 million? I think it was. We'll look again. And she could have been granted bail on self-recognizance. That's the comment from Anonymous. But you can see the comment there. Some people are saying that the bail terms are a little bit over the top. I mean, it's 50 million naira. I don't know what you think.
50 million naira is no 50 naira. It's a lot of money, even for someone who is a senator, right? Forget the flamboyant lifestyle. Forget all the cars that we see and all the so-called contracts that they get every now and then. Senior government official, 50 million naira is no small money. But even at that, like the other message they said, the contributor said, look, that the government should sit up he commends the judge process, the legal process and everything. But again, there is a lesson to be learned from this thing. And I'm not saying this because I'm a man, right? If I was a woman, I could have said the same thing too.
Right.
But as a human being, see, you accuse somebody, be rest assured that the person in return to will answer, right? Let's assuming what he did. Let's assuming he's guilty of what they say he did. Let's just assumption. Don't you think that you could have maybe exhausted your options legally first? So let's assume also the legal proceeding and the judiciary, right, was not going in your favor. What's the next thing? Do you think jumping to the international world was also another option? Again, let's assume that was the right thing to do, right? Don't you think you would have still come back to your constituency to come and deal with the matter? And again, knowing the kind of political climate that you are in, I believe that she might have had some great advisors, also some bad advisors too. But what I want to see out of this thing is that let justice be done properly. Okay? Now, they say he who plays the piper. What's that word again?
I'm not sure I remember it.
So it's like this. If you're in glass houses, don't throw stones.
Don't throw stones, yes.
All right? So, truth be told, you are in a place where you have wolves around you. Okay? You must have tangible evidence for you to come out and say, this thing was done, or I'm accusing this person of this thing. Remember this. Again, like I said, let's assume, it's an assumption now that it happened. Tangible evidence, because the court doesn't say, oh, let us see from an angle of,
right.
Okay,
there's no
emotions. No
emotions
in it.
You have to come with the evidence,
exactly,
fact and figures.
Exactly. So,
and if you don't have that, then
it's a problem. That's why I said, I'm not saying because I'm a man, right? If I was a woman, I could have said the same thing too. But the court does not look at it from the angle of, oh, she's a woman, she's crying, oh, he's a man, he should have done that. Tender your evidence and make sure you have strong lawyers. So as far as I'm concerned, she didn't have strong evidence. Secondly, she exposed herself by allowing her emotions to drive her. Now, it's not because she's a woman, because I've seen men who can control their emotions also. Just the way I've seen some women who can control their emotions. But where I'm going to falter her is the fact that her emotions were not in check in the first place, which begs the question. If she was so quick to go on air and talk about all that, what was going on behind the story? There's always the backstory to this thing. So if they've slammed her 50 million naira as bail, this is what is obtainable in the court. So there's no, I'm sorry, I was a mistake, I don't have the money. You pay the money. It's the fact. Because the court has said, look, this man has also sued you for defamation of character. And you went to a well-known TV station to talk about it. They were interviewing you, and you were giving all this information without tangible facts. What were you thinking was going to happen? Were you thinking maybe he would cower away and say, okay, this guy has gone through a lot of hurdles to become the Senate President, which means that kind of case to him is small. He has seen worse. So you should have told yourself, look, get a team of lawyers and say, do we have evidence? How do we get evidence? Even if you don't have that solid evidence, you could have still played ball until he admits unofficially that you don't even know. Then you have that such evidence, and I come and say, look, he admits so time, and this is the evidence. But he had no evidence at all. However, she could have planned to get the evidence. I'm not inciting anything. I'm just saying, without evidence, the court will do its work. With evidence, the court will still do its work, and the court has done what they had to do. And look, you are being sued for this amount of for this issue, defamation of character. And so the money you are asked to pay is this amount of money. The court has spoken. Who are we? We're just journalists. Right.
And I mean, the lessons have been learned from this situation.
Control
lots and lots of lessons.
Control your emotions.
Lots and lots of lessons. But we will definitely have to wait till September 23rd to see how far this case goes. Keep our fingers crossed on that.
Fingers crossed.
Right, that's how much we can take this morning on the social listening segment. We hope you enjoyed the show. It's been a packed show from the start of the show. Started off with the news, and then we came on to the newspaper review.
And then big story.
Right, and which of those stories really piqued your interest among some of the stories we looked at in the newspaper?
In the paper?
Yes.
So the one that really got me much as I try not to be a bit depressed, is the issue of the Benue killings. And then, of course, the cartoon now kind of lightened my mood a little bit.
Right.
But for what it's worth, we still put a smile on our faces, isn't it so?
Right.
But the Benue story is not going to go anywhere anytime soon.
Yes.
Lesson learned. We should find out.
Absolutely. So from the newspaper review, we came back to the big story. And big story, we spoke on the economic implications of the Benue bloodbath, and then the social listening segment now, which we're just wrapping up on. Courtroom drama, Nnamdi Kanu case pending. This case of Nnamdi, I almost said Nnamdi again. Nnamdi, Natasha. The case of Natasha now also still September 23rd. We'll see how that goes.
Do you think she will pay that money?
I don't think 50 million is the problem. 50 million is small money.
So before we go, we see a matter of ego playing from the very beginning.
Really? From whose part?
Oh, from the part of so I don't want to be dragged online, but I'll say the way it is.
Okay.
Natasha.
Really? How?
Yes.
How do you mean?
In our next story, we'll talk about it.
Oh, we'll talk about it off camera.
But I also pray for both their mental well-being. I can imagine what she has been through mentally, the trauma, And also, a lot of people attacked her also. Don't forget that.
It would have been worse for Nnamdi though, because 9 years, 9 years in the making. This is just, hers has just been, was it last year or was it this year?
And then
just a few months
exactly.
anyway.
And then for Nnamdi, no, he stood his ground saying no. So his own ego too also played the role. But you never know what they could have presented them with behind the, behind the cameras and everything. Say, look, agree to this, or we'll sue you, Natasha. Oh, Nnamdi Kanu, you too. And this, so two different stories, two different things at play. Adult game, you never know.
But for both cases, we hope that justice is served in the right way. There have been lessons learned, just like you mentioned. Lessons have been learned, but we hope that justice is served. That's really where I'm at. I mean, we understand the dynamics of how things happen in Nigeria, but justice definitely must be served. But that's where we bring it to wraps this morning on the BDTV Breakfast Show. We hope you enjoyed today's show. My name is Elizabeth Musa.
And I'm Onyeka Valentine.
Stay with us for more updates.